Why, hello everyone. Thank you for joining in. We are doing a raffle for Arizona Anglerettes, or AZ Anglerettes if you find us on Facebook. It's a ladies only fishing group, and we just celebrated our year anniversary from when we started. The group consists of women who know how to fish and women who want to learn how to fish. Sometimes we talk about what knot is best to use. Sometimes we're talking about what lures we're working with, whether we're catfishing or fishing for a largemouth bass or crappie. Just depends on, everybody's different and we're all fishing in different places. So it's a nice place for us ladies in Arizona to meet up together, since yes, we do have water here, but it's pretty spread out. So unfortunately, we don't see each other very much, but we are able to connect through this group. And we are doing a raffle today for the people who, the first 200 members of our group. Actually, we have 201 members now that will be included in the raffle. So I have two prizes to give away today. This is the first set of gifts in the raffle, and then this will be, I'll show you in a minute, the second set of, I'm gonna give away two gifts today. Well, two winners, I should say. There's reasons why I chose what I did, so I wanted to kind of talk about those things, the reason why they're included in the raffle package rather than just some, tackle that's been put together. Like, I really was put some thought into this, and I do the same thing when I'm going on to the water as to what I'm gonna pack in my box or in my bag. I try to kind of limit what I'm going to be using and target the fish. So the first thing in the first raffle is this really cool set of pliers. I think it's so important to have the right set of tools when you're fishing. I don't think you have any right to be fishing if you're not going to keep that fish. If you're going to take a hook out and release it, it needs to be done properly. If you don't know how to do that, it's totally okay. It takes practice, but it's so important to have the proper tools and to respect our fishery. So you might lose these. Everyone loses their first set of pliers, like over the boat, I mean. So anyway, I thought those were really nice, and they were donated by a store in town. They told me not to actually say who they were because everyone comes to them for donations, and they sell everything. So it's like, they just said, go ahead and, pick out what you think you need. So I got that for one of the items. Secondly, the top water spook is my all-time favorite. And I think it's important to have something that's always tied on that you're confident in using. This for me is that, except I use a larger one, and I thought a smaller profile might be really good when when they're being a little bit more finicky. But it's a top water lure, and you walk it like a dog, or you use the walk the dog technique, and that's basically just taking the rod and going doot, 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 and it makes the bait go doot, 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 doot. So anyway, that's included in the first gift. Secondly, next is swim baits. Swim baits this time of year with an underspin. They're not on the top of the water always, especially this time of year. My fishery, they do chase shad up to the top, so I use a top water all year round. But if they're deeper, you're gonna want a jig head that's got some weight on it and something that will swim so that it can swim with the fish. Of course, everyone does drop shot. This is from Tight Lines UV. The fish are supposed to be able to see these lures 7 times more because of the technology that's used inside of the worm, or any of their lures, as a matter of fact. So if you take a black light to their lures, it's like a glow in the dark. So if you can imagine whatever the technology is inside of this worm, when it's deep, under the water, the bass are gonna see that because it's gonna leave not necessarily a color. The bass may not see a color. I'm saying there's like a dimension that's different due to this technology. I had these made from someone for Arizona Anglerettes. They are just so cute, and I think it's really important to have little jig heads like this, and you can put a trailer on there. So when I say a trailer, I mean you can put like some sort of swimmer or fish looking thing so that it can get down deep. You can use it on its own, or you can add something to it so that it's like got a bigger profile. Depends on the profile you want. Anyway, I thought those were adorable. I have some made that were pink and blue and purple. So, Wild E Custom Baits. They are from Arizona, a female-owned business. They are in our group, and they donated some things. So check Wild E Custom Baits out. These are really good quality baits. I love the plastics. I love the little tails on this guy, on these swimmers. You could swim these deeper if you wanted to, or really shallow if you have a quick retrieve. Depends on where they're at. Then, of course, there's this little guy. It has a bell on it. It's used also for trout, but it can catch some largemouth bass. I wanted to include some sort of like a trout lure in this box because there's a new, not a fad going around, but there's a saying to use little cast masters. Well, I like to catch big fish, so I think that something with a larger profile does that. Not always, but so this is included, okay? And then everyone needs, as I mentioned, it's got like a little jig head, but this one's called a bitsy bait. And it's got a smaller, profile hook in there. You can fish it as is, or you can add a trailer to it. And these have been catching, this size, 1/4 ounce, has been catching me fish this winter. I fish it with a little trailer from Tight Lines UV, a little grub trailer that looks like, a swim tail. That's what I use with this bitsy bug. And I use a navy blue one as well. I love it. And that's been biting when Drop Shot hasn't. So that's in the first package. So the first winner will receive those items that I just showed you and that I just talked about. The second winner will receive this Cast Master kit, which was also donated by that store that I can't mention. But there's 3, 4, 5, 6 different size Cast Masters in this. They'll catch you a lot of fish. It is so much fun to jig fish with these. I think bigger ones will catch bigger fish, especially if you want to target fish, because you can see where they're at on your graph. So if you want to get down to where those fish are, I like to use a heavier weight, a heavier jig, or not jig, but spoon. Sorry, these are spoons. And then, because those weren't very cute, I also had to get these, which are also from that store I can't mention. But aren't they so cute and pretty? So, and of course they're different weights, so they're gonna get down quicker depending on which one you use. There's 8 ounce, 1/8, 3/8. This one's all different sizes, the one I mentioned. Okay, as I mentioned in the last deal, the Topwater Spook, okay? A white bone color is also awesome, and it's that smaller profile. So I think those are really wonderful to use when you do have some sort of like bait fish being chased up. You've got bait balls coming up to the top. Yes. These swim tails, or twin, I guess they're twin swim tails. I'm not sure what they're called actually. From Tight Lines UV. I put 3 different colors in one. These were donated by Tight Lines UV. They are awesome. I love their stuff. I'm not just saying that because I got them for free. I actually have a whole bunch of other ones. These are my favorite. These are the ones that catch crappie. These are the ones that catch largemouth bass. They'll even catch trout. So same technology as what I mentioned before in those worms. I love these. So also, they work really good on this Bitsy bait. So that's what I pair it with. So anyway, this Bitsy bait's included also. And that Tight Lines UV worms. These swimmers from Wild E Custom Baits. If you wanted to, you could put the Bitsy bait with that as well and swim these deeper. I love pink and green. These are more like a purple and green. But the reason why I like pink is because I feel like the bass instinctively think it's a trout, even if it's like not that time of year. And I think bass will eat pink stuff. That's why I think Morning Dawn works so well. That's one of my favorites. I have tons of Morning Dawn. So these are also those jig heads. They can go deep, or you can put a trailer to fish them at different levels of the water. That I had made. I will tell you who I ordered them from. I would, but I'm not going to because he shorted me on some and he didn't make it right. So I don't really think anyone else should be using him. And he used the wrong colors. I said pink and blue. These are pink and purple. Anyways, that's going to be included in the second raffle. Depends on if you're a spoon person or if you are a jig and more of a topwater person. So I am excited, and let me know what you think once you get, and we also had someone in the group that wants to throw in some Anglerettes stickers. So I will be getting more information on that as well. Thanks, bye.